What is up, you guys? Vick Almighty here, and today we got another dope collaboration with my boy Flippin Kickz.
What's up, guys?
Today we got a pair of 1995 original Shadow 10s that we're gonna be converting into the sample unreleased version. Over here we got the original steel 10s with a toe cap. On this one, as you can see, the toe has no toe cap, just one clean panel. On this pair, it has two pieces of leather that create that nice toe cap. This pair was released, but it was actually recalled because MJ didn't like the toe cap style. This one was also set to release with a toe cap, it just never made it onto the floor. So our job is to recreate that sample. Ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
So first things first, we need to deconstruct this shoe. The glue on this shoe is 27 years old, so it's not gonna hold very well. We're just gonna go ahead and peel it off. Oh, you're going that way first? Cool, I'll go this way. Yeah, we'll have to open up this drill bolt.
The deconstruction process was super easy, took us less than 5 seconds. What's next, Alex?
So next, we're gonna take off all this old glue on the upper with skiving.
Part one of the prep is complete. We skived off all the old glue all around the shoe. Now the next part we gotta focus on is adding these toe cap pieces. Over here, we got the leather that we're gonna be using. It's a black tumble leather, the exact same stuff that they use on the rest of the shoe.
So next, we're actually just gonna trace out this pattern using tape and like a pen to go along the edges, and then we'll transfer it over to here, cut it out, and then transfer it over to the shoe.
Sounds easy enough, I
Pretty
think.
simple.
All right. Got the patterns all traced out, we got it onto the leather. Now using some leather cutting scissors, we're gonna chop it. We gotta be very careful because we don't have much material to work with.
Thanks, Jake. So continuing the prep work, we're gonna remove the old glue off of the midsole and the sole, but before that, we're gonna actually cut out the air unit that's underneath this piece. It's 27 years old.
Yeah, it feels shot. I wonder what it looks like inside.
It's not gonna be pretty. You need an X-Acto knife, and we're gonna just trace right along this edge, and it should pop right out.
All right, so we got the old air unit cut out. We cleaned up all the old stuff. Now we're gonna go in with some acetone and cotton balls, finish the prep work. We're gonna wipe off all the old glue from the inside and outside, and same thing with the outsole.
All right, so now that the soles and the midsoles had their glue removed, it is time to put down the new glue. So now that the glue has had time to dry, it's time to bond it using heat.
All right, we got the leather fully cut out. During the process, we ran out of leather, so I had to make a trip to Tanny Leather, and we found the perfect match. This is actually a better match than the first stuff we were messing with. If you see here closely, this is a nice quality tumble leather, just like on the Jordan 10s. So like I mentioned, it's already cut up. We got two pieces. This is gonna go underneath, just like so. But this piece is a little too thick. If I sew it just as is, when you put it on the shoe, it's gonna be kind of bulky. We don't want that. So this next process is we're gonna skive it using an X-Acto knife. All along the lines, we're gonna skive this piece, make it nice and thin. That way when we place it over it, it's not all bulky.
So Vic skived it and then stuck it together, and these look absolutely great. What's next?
So the next step, we're gonna be using the OG Steel 10s as a reference. The thing is, even though these were made in a factory, they're not exactly perfect. One is slightly different than the other. So what we're gonna do is our best to make them look better than factory. The next step is to get them on the shoe, line them up as best as possible, lay down some glue before we sew them onto the shoes. Got the leather applied onto the upper. What we did was grab the steel 10. We used the stitch as our starting point. We measured up to the first line. That's exactly 1 inch. So we went from there, and then everything else, we just kind of winged it.
So next, we actually have to open up the bottom piece so that Vic can get his stitching machine in there and he can stitch the lines that are needed on the upper. We're gonna do so with the heat gun.
After about 7 different tries, we got the toe cap sewn in place. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The first one was pretty bad. The 5th one was still pretty bad, but Alex was a champ. He was cutting out all these pieces. We were reapplying, re-sewing. Eventually, we got the perfect lines. I need a break, bro. What's next?
Yeah, you definitely need a break after all that. So next, we are going to glue this down right here, bond it, then start gluing this down so we can pull it into shape, and then we're gonna get it fitted for the midsole, and we're gonna get these shoes together.
All right.
Let's do it. All right, it's time to stick it. All right guys, I went ahead, put some more glue down. We're gonna let it dry and then we're gonna heat it up and bond it.
While Alex is taking care of the prep work on the shoes, we're gonna move on to replacing the air units inside the sole. For this, we're gonna be using some EVA foam. They use this stuff on a lot of the shoes, including some of the newer Yeezys. The air unit was fully deteriorated. This is basically the lid that was covering up the air unit. We're gonna be using this as a pattern. Got the foam perfectly cut out. Now we're gonna be applying some glue to the bottom of it and in the sole so we can fully install it. After a few minutes of letting it cure, let's install it. Got the foam fully in place. Now we're gonna get them to Alex so he could do some final dremeling.
Sweet. All right guys, we're bringing it outside so that we avoid the mess inside, but now it's time to Dremel out and shape this cushioning system. So we're gonna use the Dremel for that, and always wear protection. Now back to the studio.
Good to go with the dremeling. We got the foam fully level with the rest of the midsole. It looks great. Now the next step we gotta do is hit it with some acetone and cotton balls one last time before we go in and apply some glue to the midsoles and the uppers. Good to go with the prep work. We did all the dremeling on the uppers and the midsoles. We added some new foam. It's looking really good, bro. What's next?
So next, we're gonna put some glue down and then let it dry for a little while and then hit it with the heat gun to stick it together.
That's basically it, right?
Yeah, and then it's all done, finally. So the glue has had time to dry. As you can see, it is not sticking at all. So to get it sticky, what we're gonna do is reheat the glue and put it together that way.
Yo, that is a clean glue job. Everything lined up nicely, even with adding a whole new piece of leather to the toe cap. This looks factory. Good job, dude.
Thanks, man.
So what's next?
So we're gonna put the insoles in and lace it up and these will be done. Finally.
All right, everybody, that is gonna bring us to an end on these custom, unreleased sample Jordan 10s. Bro, this was a project.
This was quite the project.
The OG steel 10s that Alex brought that we use for reference, what factory were those made in?
So this was a Taiwan factory pair, and if you notice, the Taiwan pair has more of a shelf on the toe rather than the Korea pair has more of a slant. So we had to kind of adjust some things for that, but I think it turned out really well.
That's right. Originally, you guys, I was looking all over eBay for the last 3 or 4 months for a Taiwan pair to match our reference. The thing is, I never found them. There was one pair, but they were way too expensive, so I settled for the Korean pair. It looks just as good. I'm not complaining.
I think it does too. There is one more difference that's kind of cool to look at. If you look at the Jumpman from the Taiwan pair, they are facing the same direction, but the Korean pair, they are facing each other.
They're not fake.
There's a lot of differences between the factories, and that's one of them.
Cool thing is, he also brought his personal pair that was produced in Taiwan, and there's some more differences.
There is. So if you look at the color of this one has more of like a forest, like darker green, and this one has more of a dusty green in a sense.
It's more on the charcoal side. This is more on the brown. It's crazy. All these different factories produce different shoes at the end of the day. And the last detail I want to touch on is the year that these were produced. Some people say 94, other people say 95. What do you think?
So they were actually produced in 1994, but if you look at the tag, it says 94-09-11, meaning they were produced between September and November of 94, so there's no way they hit the shelves in December. These were actually released in the spring of 95, as with the rest of the 10s.
That's it. My pair says anywhere between October and December of 94.
Gotcha.
Basically all we did was rip the shoes apart, added this nice toe cap piece, put the shoes back together in a super high quality way. These look factory, dude.
They're really nice, man. I'm jealous that they're yours.
Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Vic Almighty and Flippin Kickz. We'll catch you guys next Monday. See you guys.
Do you guys ever put bloopers at the end of your videos? In like the credits? Yeah. Nice.